There is a dangerous, unspoken lie you have been fed since you were old enough to understand instructions. It is the lie that if you keep your head down, carry the heaviest burdens, and treat everyone with unconditional grace, the world will eventually pause, recognize your noble sacrifice, and hand you your crown. But think about the reality of your actual life. Think about the last time you stayed late in the dead silence of the office, the glow of the monitor illuminating your exhaustion, while you quietly fixed a catastrophic error made by a charismatic colleague. They were out at dinner, you were cleaning up their mess. And the next morning, when the credit was distributed and the praise was handed down, they absorbed it effortlessly. They looked you right in the eye, gave you a polite nod, and walked away with the victory. You smiled. You swallowed the bile in your throat. You told yourself you were taking the high road. But let us be devastatingly clear right now. You were not taking the high road. You were just bleeding out quietly, terrified to make a mess. In the brutal mathematics of human nature, virtue without a spine is just a beautifully wrapped invitation for abuse. This channel is not designed to offer you the warm comfort of conventional self-help. We do not deal in the toxic positivity that tells you to just keep smiling and trust that the universe will reward your patience. We deal in the mechanics of reality, and the reality is that we operate in a system that does not reward your silent suffering. It actively, systematically preys on it. Right now, you are trapped in a behavioral loop that guarantees your own marginalization. You are operating under the fatal delusion that your sacrifices are being tallied on some grand, invisible scoreboard, and that one day, the people who continuously extract your energy will suddenly experience a spontaneous awakening of conscience. They will not. They never will. You have constructed an entire dynamic where their comfort, their success, and their ease are heavily subsidized by your exhaustion. You are paying for their status with your sanity, and they are more than happy to let you keep writing the checks. Let us dissect the architecture of the environments you move through every single day. Look closely at the ecosystem of a high-stakes corporate floor, a hyper-competitive university cohort, or even the subtle, unspoken hierarchy within your own social circles. There is always a game being played just beneath the surface of polite emails and casual coffee breaks. You have positioned yourself as the designated shock absorber. You are the one who double-checks the flawed data, the one who takes on the weekend shift without extra pay, the one who sits through a 2-hour phone call listening to the manufactured dramas of friends who would never dream of asking how your week went. You bend over backwards, contorting your schedule and dismantling your own boundaries, genuinely believing that this extreme level of utility makes you indispensable. You believe that if they need you enough, they will eventually have to respect you. But observe the people who actually ascend. Observe the individual who just effortlessly secured the promotion you sacrificed your personal life for. Or the person who walks into a room and instantly commands the gravity of the space. They are not doing the heavy lifting. They are not volunteering for the tedious, unglamorous tasks. They delegate. They guard their time with a ruthless, icy precision. They say no to requests with a relaxed, unapologetic smile that leaves absolutely no room for negotiation. And here is the psychological twist that sickens the people-pleaser. Everyone respects them for it. Their colleagues bend to their schedules. Their bosses value their input more highly. People inherently crave their approval and their time precisely because it is heavily gated and rarely given. This shatters your worldview because it feels entirely backwards to everything you were taught. But human nature does not care about your moral outrage, and it certainly does not care about what is fair. Human nature operates on the primal laws of supply, demand, and perceived value. By making yourself constantly and unconditionally available, by never imposing a sharp consequence for disrespect, lateness, or sheer laziness, you have aggressively crashed your own market value. You have broadcasted to the entire room that your time is cheap, your emotional labor is free, and your borders are completely undefended. When you refuse to push back, people do not look at you and see a saint. Subconsciously, their primitive brains see someone with dangerously low self-worth. They instinctively calculate that, because you demand nothing of them, you must secretly believe you deserve nothing. To break this cycle and reclaim your autonomy, you have to undergo a violent rewiring of how you perceive your own actions. You have to look in the mirror and admit that a vast majority of what you call kindness is actually just a survival mechanism. It is the cowardice of avoiding conflict. Dressed up in a socially acceptable disguise, you say yes to the unreasonable deadline because you are terrified of the temporary tension that comes with setting a limit. You swallow the subtle insult in the meeting because you lack the stomach for the confrontation required to demand basic respect. But this cowardice is a slow-acting poison. It is filling you with a quiet, suffocating resentment that leaks out in your defeated posture, your tired eyes, and the apologetic way you occupy physical space. You are waiting for the world to pause and recognize your silent nobility, but the world is only looking at the space you claim and the absolute force with which you defend it. The people who use you are rarely masterminds playing three-dimensional chess. They are simply opportunists walking down a long hallway, gently pushing on doors to see which ones swing open without resistance. You are the door swinging wide open in the breeze. Every single time you over-deliver for someone who consistently underappreciates you, you are handing them a neon sign confirming that you can be exploited without any real friction. The people who take advantage of your empathy are not doing it because they are inherently evil monsters. They are doing it because you make it so incredibly easy. You have systematically trained them to treat you like a stepping stone, conditioning them to expect a soft landing every time they step on your back. If you want the exploitation to end, you must realize that you cannot change their nature. You can only alter the architecture of what you allow. You didn't fall behind because you were unlucky. You fell behind because you broadcasted the one signal that invites the wolves. You didn't fall behind because you were unlucky. You fell behind because you broadcasted the one signal that invites the wolves. Now, look at how that exact same signal bleeds into every personal interaction you have, turning the people you care about into the very predators you despise. The corporate floor is not the only place where human nature violently extracts your energy. The exact same mechanics of power, exploitation, and perceived value govern the digital landscape of your modern relationships. Pull out your phone and look at your message history. Look at the stark, humiliating contrast in the timestamps. Look at the people who take 12, 24, or 48 hours to acknowledge your existence, while you sit there agonizing over the perfect arrangement of words, responding within seconds the moment their name flashes across your screen. You tell yourself you are just being a reliable friend, a dedicated partner, or a good communicator. You rationalize their distance, inventing elaborate excuses about how stressed and busy their lives must be. But beneath the excuses, you know the truth. You are participating in a rigged market, and you are aggressively devaluing your own stock. Let us dissect the dark psychology of what is actually happening in these dynamics. Consider the role of the perpetual therapist friend, a title many wear as a badge of honor, but is actually a mark of profound servitude. You are the emotional dumping ground. They call you when their world is fracturing, when they are overwhelmed by their own terrible decisions, and when they urgently need someone to absorb their anxiety. You drop everything to be there. You listen for hours, offering carefully constructed advice, pouring your empathy and energy into the receiver, acting as their personal anchor in the storm. But watch what happens the exact moment the crisis passes. They vanish back into the vibrant, exciting parts of their lives, leaving you entirely drained and discarded until their next emergency requires your services. And when the roles are reversed, when you face a crisis, when you simply need someone to listen, your messages are met with vague platitudes, delayed responses, or complete silence. You sit there feeling deeply betrayed, wondering why your profound loyalty and unwavering support are never reciprocated. The answer is painfully simple, rooted in the cold, unforgiving laws of behavioral economics. Availability dictates market value. In the subconscious minds of the people around you, anything that is free, infinite, and guaranteed is entirely worthless. By providing unrestricted, unearned access to your time, your emotional labor, and your digital presence, you have hyperinflated your own currency until it means absolutely nothing. Human beings are not fundamentally motivated by gratitude. They are motivated by scarcity. They value what they have to work for, what they fear they might lose, and what requires consistent effort to maintain. When you respond instantly to someone who treats you like an afterthought, you are actively rewarding their negligence. You are teaching them, with flawless consistency, that there is zero penalty for ignoring you. Why would they ever prioritize your presence when you have proven, time and time again, that you will always be waiting by the door the moment they decide to return? You must understand a fundamental law of power dynamics. Mercy without leverage is just an invitation to be consumed. When you offer your unconditional emotional resources to someone who holds all the cards, who dictates the pace, the depth, and the convenience of the relationship, your mercy is not viewed as angelic or kind. It is viewed as pathetic. They do not respect your patience. They simply consume your energy, digest your validation, and move on to the next source of stimulation. The people who hold the ultimate power in modern social dynamics are not the ones who care the most. They are the ones who can withhold their attention the longest. They deeply understand the weaponized nature of space and silence. The friend who takes 2 days to text you back is not merely busy. They are subtly, perhaps even subconsciously, establishing a rigid hierarchy where their time is a premium commodity and yours is an unlimited, low-tier resource. the romantic interest who gives you just enough affection to keep you hooked, only to pull away into the shadows the moment you seek certainty, is executing a masterclass in intermittent reinforcement. It is the exact same psychological mechanism that makes gambling addictive. They give you a sudden, intense burst of validation, and then they starve you of it, forcing you to chase the high. And you play exactly into their hands by constantly trying to prove that you are worthy of being chosen, offering more access, more understanding, and more of yourself. You have to kill the fantasy that your constant availability proves your virtue. It only proves your desperation, and desperation is a scent that makes manipulators salivate. To completely shift this dynamic, you must begin a calculated, ruthless withdrawal of your most valuable asset, your access. You must learn to look at a message from someone who continually disrespects your time and feel absolutely nothing. No urge to reply, no spike of anxiety, no desire to explain your sudden silence. You must treat your attention like high-level security clearance. If they have not earned it through consistent respect and reciprocal effort, they do not get it. Period. This is not about playing petty, vindictive games or trying to manipulate them back. That is the behavior of the weak and the emotionally fragile. This is about cold, analytical detachment. It is about waking up to the reality of the chessboard you are standing on and deciding that your pieces are no longer available for thoughtless sacrifice. When you stop acting like a limitless resource, the ecosystem around you will experience a violent shock. The people who have spent years comfortably feeding off your instant replies and your endless patience will suddenly feel the freezing draft of your absence. They will panic. They will send out little digital feelers, a random meme, a casual thinking of you text, a manufactured minor crisis, just to see if you are still trapped in their cage, ready to perform your designated role. You must let those feelers wither and die in the void. You must become an impenetrable vault. The moment you strip away your frantic emotional reactions and begin to view these interactions through the cold lens of Machiavellian strategy, the hurt completely evaporates. The agonizing anxiety of waiting for their validation dissolves into nothingness because you no longer care about the outcome. You are no longer waiting in the dark to be chosen. You are the one holding the spotlight, doing the evaluating. You are watching them realize, with slow, creeping dread, that the free ride is permanently over. That the currency of your access has just undergone a massive deflation, and that they simply do not have the capital to afford you anymore. But simply cutting off access isn't enough if your mind is still loud, desperately waiting for them to notice your absence. Simply cutting off your physical or digital access is an incomplete strategy if your mind remains deafeningly loud, desperately hoping they will finally notice your absence and understand why you had to pull away. This brings us to a brutal pivot in how you must perceive your own communication. Because right now, your desperate desire to be understood is the exact weapon being used to dismantle you. Picture the most exhausting, circular argument you repeatedly have with a manipulative family member or a deeply toxic partner. You know the exact physical sensation of this dynamic. Your chest is tight, your heart is racing, and you have spent the last 3 days obsessing over how to present your case. You build a flawless, logical fortress in your mind. You gather your evidence, carefully modulate your tone to sound entirely reasonable, and present your feelings with the precision of a seasoned attorney. You lay out exactly how they hurt you, step by step, genuinely believing that if you just find the right combination of words, the perfect, magical sequence of syllables, they will suddenly experience a blinding breakthrough of empathy. You think they will look at you, validate your pain, take accountability, and apologize. But what actually happens? You deploy your carefully constructed logic, and they do not even engage with the substance of your words. They bring gaslighting. They bring masterful deflection. They latch onto one minor, completely insignificant phrase you used, twist it entirely out of context, and suddenly, violently, you are the one on trial. You are the one apologizing for your tone, aggressively backpedaling, and frantically trying to clarify your original point. You leave the interaction feeling dizzy, doubting your own sanity, and completely drained of your life force, while they walk away looking entirely unbothered, perhaps even energized by the exchange. Here is the dagger turn. Here is the cold, stinging truth you must swallow right now, the realization that will permanently alter the trajectory of your life. Arguing to be understood by a manipulator is not communication, it is begging. When you exhaust yourself trying to logically explain your boundaries to someone who actively benefits from breaking them, you are subconsciously asking for their permission to exist. You are looking for a predator to validate your right to defend yourself. This is a fundamental misunderstanding of power. Every single time you over-explain your actions, justify your choices, or defend your silence, you are handing them the exact architectural blueprint to your mind. You are showing them your triggers, your insecurities, and precisely what buttons to press to keep you spinning in circles. The people who extract your energy do not care about the truth, they care about control. When you present them with a carefully constructed argument, they do not see an appeal to reason. They see emotional bleeding. They see that you still care enough to fight. As long as you are explaining, justifying, and reacting, you are still firmly plugged into their matrix. You are providing them with the exact friction they need to feel powerful. To them, your desperation to be heard is the ultimate proof of their dominance. We are conditioned from childhood to believe that if we just explain ourselves clearly enough, the other side will see our good intentions. We are taught that silence is rude, that leaving an accusation unanswered is an admission of guilt. But in the theater of dark psychology, answering a bad faith accusation is the real trap. By engaging, you validate their premise. To become truly formidable, you must completely assassinate the need to be understood. You must embrace the profound, chilling power of asymmetrical warfare. The amateur fights back with a louder voice, a longer text message, and a better argument. The strategist fights back by removing the battlefield entirely. You must realize that silence is the most devastating, unanswerable argument in the history of human interaction. When they throw out a manipulative hook, an underhanded passive-aggressive comment, or a gaslighting deflection, and you simply look at them with dead, relaxed eyes and offer absolutely nothing in return, you break their entire operating system. Silence is not just the absence of words, it is a physical posture. It is a slow blink. It is breathing deeply and evenly while they raise their voice. It is the absolute refusal to match their chaotic energy. Think about the mechanics of this. You stop defending your choices. If you decide to leave a room, you leave it. You do not offer a 5-minute preamble about why your feelings dictate your departure. If you decline an invitation, you simply say no. You do not invent a fictional scheduling conflict or apologize profusely for the inconvenience. When you stop giving them data, they completely lose their leverage. Manipulators are profoundly terrified of the void. They thrive on the chaotic noise of your explanations because it gives them a surface to push against. When you remove that friction, when you introduce a cold, quiet vacuum into the dynamic, they stumble, they fall forward, because the wall they were leaning on has vanished. Executing this strategy requires a massive tolerance for being the villain in their narrative. This is where most people break. When you stop explaining yourself, they will escalate. They will call you cold. They will call you arrogant, selfish, and unreasonable. They will accuse you of changing and shutting them out, and you must look at those accusations. Feel the urge to defend your character rising in your throat, and completely swallow it. Let those accusations hang in the dead air. Let them completely misunderstand you. Let them paint you as the monster in a story they tell to justify their own toxicity. Your reputation in the minds of people who do not respect you is completely irrelevant to your reality. The moment you stop frantically managing their perception of you is the exact moment you reclaim your soul. You transition from agonizing anxiety into a state of chilling calm. You realize that you never needed them to understand your boundaries. You just needed to enforce them. You stop treating your life like a courtroom where you are constantly on trial, and you take your seat on the bench. You observe their frantic attempts to pull you back into the dirt, and you feel nothing but a mild, clinical curiosity. When you finally close your mouth, you realize the power was never in winning the argument. It was in the suffocating space you leave behind when you simply stop caring. When you finally close your mouth and leave them choking on the suffocating space of your indifference, you uncover a profoundly dark truth about human conflict. You realize that your previous instinct was always to wage war, to confront the disrespect head-on, or to dramatically sever ties in a blaze of righteous anger. But reacting with explosive anger or theatrical exits still requires you to bleed. It still requires you to care. There is a much quieter, far more devastating path to neutralizing the people who drain you. Picture the phenomenon of the ghost in the machine. You have likely seen this person in your own life, perhaps within a highly toxic corporate environment or a deeply enmeshed, drama-filled social circle. The environment is chaotic. Everyone is constantly complaining, forming factions, backstabbing, and fighting for scraps of validation. But the ghost operates differently. They do not storm into the manager's office to quit in a fiery, cinematic rage. They do not engage in the break room gossip. They do not post cryptic, passive-aggressive farewells on social media before blocking everyone. Instead, they do something far more unnerving to the human psyche. They remain physically present, yet they become entirely inaccessible. They simply hollow out their presence, leaving a shell that perfectly mimics participation while offering absolutely nothing of substance. This is the deliberate practice of strategic atrophy, and it is the absolute pinnacle of emotional control. In biology, atrophy occurs when a muscle or an organ is entirely deprived of blood, oxygen, and use. It does not explode. It does not violently revolt. It simply withers away into nothingness because it has been starved of the resources it needs to survive. The exact same principle applies to power dynamics and human psychology. Manipulators, narcissists, and chronic energy vampires operate like psychological parasites. They do not possess their own internal source of validation, so they must extract it from the environment. Crucially, they do not strictly require positive attention to survive. They simply require a reaction. Any reaction will do. When you argue, when you cry, when you frantically defend yourself, or even when you scream at them in hatred, you are pumping fresh blood directly into their system. You are confirming that they hold enough significance to alter your emotional state. To a predator, your visible rage is just a twisted, highly satisfying form of obedience. If you genuinely want to neutralize a threat, you do not have to destroy them. Attempting to destroy someone requires an immense expenditure of your own precious time and mental architecture, which ironically keeps you firmly locked in their orbit. True dominance is achieved through the total, clinical withdrawal of your emotional fuel. Detachment is widely misunderstood by the fragile and the weak as a form of running away or surrender. It is neither. It is the most calculated, lethal defensive maneuver in the Machiavellian playbook. You do not flee the room. You simply lower your internal body temperature to absolute zero. You watch their deliberate provocation sail past you like dead leaves, blowing across a gray pavement. You do not reach out to catch them. You do not pick them up to inspect them. You just let them hit the floor in total silence. Think about the physical sensation of dropping the rope in a vicious game of tug-of-war. The manipulator is on the other side, pulling with all their might, expecting you to dig your heels in, sweat, and pull back. They rely on your resistance to keep them upright. The moment you completely release your grip, the moment you decide that winning the game is a massive waste of your calories, they go flying backward into the dirt. Their own momentum becomes the weapon that humiliates them. When you are sitting across from someone who drops a heavily calculated, passive-aggressive insult designed to make you insecure, your instinct is to pull the rope. You want to snap back. You want to justify your choices. Instead, try the ghost maneuver. Look right into their eyes. Hold the eye contact for just a second too long. Give a slow, utterly blank nod, and then take a sip of your coffee. Do not offer a single syllable. The tension in the room instantly shifts from your shoulders onto theirs. Their provocation just died in mid-air, entirely unacknowledged. They are left holding the heavy, awkward weight of their own toxicity. They will scramble. They will awkwardly try to fill the silence or backtrack, because you have just triggered their absolute deepest fear, total irrelevance. Society aggressively demands that we care about everything. We are conditioned to be constantly engaged, hyper-reactive, and deeply invested in how we are perceived by every single person we encounter. Disengagement, therefore, is the ultimate act of rebellion. When you finally master the art of detachment, you stop being a participant in their circus and you become the audience's. You watch their manipulation tactics with the cold, detached curiosity, observing an unpredictable insect inside a glass jar. You see the strings they are trying to pull, but those strings are no longer attached to your limbs. You stop agonizing over what they think of you because you recognize that their thoughts are fundamentally worthless, generated by a broken, exploitative machine. This level of unbothered calm terrifies people who rely on controlling others. When they realize that their words no longer possess the power to injure you, and their absence no longer possesses the power to frighten you, they lose their entire arsenal. They will call you cold. They will tell other people that you have become heartless and arrogant. Let them. A reputation for being cold is a profoundly effective shield against people who only want to use you for warmth. You are not responsible for managing the disappointment of parasites who are upset that the host has finally closed the kitchen. You are entirely sovereign. You exist for your own purpose, not to act as emotional padding for the jagged edges of broken people. Starving the parasite is the first step of defense, but to truly alter the game, you must learn to wear your loyalty not as a blanket, but as a blade. Starving the parasite is the first step of defense, but to truly alter the game, you must learn to wear your loyalty not as a blanket, but as a blade. We have been aggressively programmed by our culture, our media, and our institutions to view blind, unwavering loyalty as the highest possible moral achievement. You are told that the ultimate test of your character is your willingness to stand by someone through thick and thin, to go down with the ship, and to prioritize the collective over your own survival. But in the ruthless, unfiltered calculus of power, unconditional loyalty is not a virtue at all. It is a profound psychological vulnerability. It is a heavy, rusted chain that you voluntarily wrap around your own neck, handing the padlock to people who will not hesitate to let you drown if it keeps their heads above water. Let us examine the catastrophic results of this programming in the real world. Consider the tragic, all too common archetype of the ultimate corporate loyalist. This is the individual who gives 2 decades of their one and only life to a company. They miss their children's recitals. They sacrifice their physical health. And they let personal relationships wither on the vine, all in the name of the 4th quarter push. They are entirely seduced by the manipulative, manufactured corporate rhetoric that we are a family here. They build their entire identity around their allegiance to the firm, assuming that this massive expenditure of loyalty is being deposited into a secure vault of mutual respect. Then the market slightly contracts. A board of directors who have never looked this person in the eye analyze a quarterly spreadsheet, notice a slight dip in projected profit margins, and execute a sudden reduction in force. 20 years of blood, sweat, and unquestioning devotion are erased in a matter of seconds, delivered via a sterile, 3-paragraph email sent by an automated human resources algorithm at 4 o'clock on a Friday afternoon. The loyalist carries a cardboard box to their car in utter silence, completely destroyed, realizing entirely too late that their loyalty was a one-way mirror. They were fiercely loyal to a machine, but the machine was only loyal to its bottom line. You see this exact same devastating asymmetry in your personal relationships. Think of the fiercely loyal, ride-or-die friend. You know this person deeply. Perhaps you have been this person for most of your life. You stand between your toxic friends and the severe consequences of their own disastrous actions. You risk your own reputation to defend them in public. You absorb their enemies as your own, and you fight their battles with absolute ferocity. But the very moment the dynamic shifts, the moment you make a mistake, or you are the one standing in the crosshairs of public opinion and desperately need an advocate, You look over your shoulder and find yourself standing in an empty room. The people you bled for are suddenly very quiet. They are looking down at their shoes, frantically calculating whether being associated with you is a social liability. This is the bitter, unspoken truth about human nature. People do not respect the loyal dog. They take the loyal dog entirely for granted because they know it will never leave the yard. When you offer someone unconditional allegiance, you fundamentally and permanently alter the power dynamic in their favor. You remove the essential element of risk from the relationship. When a person knows that you will never leave them, no matter how terribly they manage your partnership, they have absolutely no incentive to treat you with respect. You become a fixed asset. You become a piece of emotional real estate that they own outright, a property they no longer have to pay maintenance on. Machiavelli understood this fatal flaw with terrifying clarity. He warned that men are fundamentally fickle, driven by self-interest, and that relying entirely on the permanent goodwill of another human being is a guaranteed path to ruin. To survive and thrive in a world designed to exploit you, you must completely rewrite your definition of allegiance. Loyalty is not a permanent tattoo carved into your skin. It is a temporary lease. True Machiavellian loyalty is highly conditional. It is a living, breathing contract that must be continuously and coldly audited. You must look at the people around you and ask, does this alliance still serve my growth? Does this person still protect my peace? Do they offer reciprocal value, or are they quietly draining my reserves? The exact moment the answer becomes no, your allegiance must instantly evaporate. The weak, the manipulative, and the fragile will violently protest this mindset. When you begin to withdraw your blind support, they will attempt to weaponize your history against you. They will try to trigger your guilt using desperate phrases like, "After all we have been through together," or "I thought you were different." You must recognize this tactic for what it is, a preemptive strike. When someone demands your unconditional loyalty, it is rarely because they are planning to do something noble. It is almost always a mechanism to ensure your silent complicity in their incoming toxicity. You must listen to their guilt trips and feel absolutely nothing. Guilt is the invisible leash society uses to keep you chained to terrible investments. You are not betraying them. You are simply refusing to act as a human shield for their dysfunction. You must learn to let people believe you are entirely on their team, to collaborate gracefully, and to build effectively, while internally your core remains completely sovereign and untethered. You never surrender the keys to your own psychological kingdom. The illusion of loyalty is incredibly useful for navigating the world, but the reality of unconditional loyalty is a death sentence. You prioritize the preservation of your own empire over the ruins of theirs. When you finally master this conditional allegiance, your entire aura fundamentally changes. You stop smelling like prey. People instinctively sense that your presence in their life is a daily calculated choice, not a lifetime guarantee. They feel the underlying tension that if they drop their standards or cross your boundaries, you will vanish without a second thought. And it is precisely that fear, the constant, quiet hum of knowing you are fully capable of walking away, that keeps them honest, respectful, and perfectly aligned with your terms. Once you strip away the illusion of loyalty and the burden of empathy, What remains is something entirely alien to the people who once thought they owned you. This alien version of yourself is not a temporary mask. It is the permanent architecture of an untouchable mind. Once you have stripped away the illusion of blind loyalty and the suffocating burden of desperate empathy, you must test this new architecture in the real world. Imagine walking back into the exact environments that used to systematically break you. You step into the same high-stakes corporate meeting room where your contributions were once casually stolen and overlooked. You sit down at the exact same volatile family dinner table where your boundaries were historically mocked and your energy was routinely drained. Physically, absolutely, nothing has changed. The lighting is the same. The players are the same. They are still running their predictable, highly manipulative scripts, waiting for you to fall into your designated role as the emotional shock absorber. But this time, something is fundamentally broken in their machine. You are physically present, but psychologically, you are entirely unreachable. You are completely hollowed out of your need for their validation. You are no longer standing on the chessboard, waiting to be moved. You are observing the game from somewhere high above the board. When most people hear the word ruthless, they immediately imagine a cinematic villain. They picture someone who is aggressively cruel, actively seeking to inflict pain, or obsessed with dominating the people around them. But that is just a loud, theatrical form of emotional fragility. People who need to crush others are still deeply controlled by them. True ruthlessness is incredibly quiet. It is not about controlling other people's behavior. It is about achieving absolute, unbreakable sovereignty over your own incentives. You no longer need the narcissist to suddenly realize they are a narcissist. You no longer need the toxic boss or the manipulative partner to spontaneously develop a moral compass. You have completely given up the exhausting, tragic crusade of trying to change the players. You simply master the board. You recognize their toxic behavior not as a personal attack that needs to be emotionally processed, but as raw, predictable data that needs to be strategically managed. You look at their attempts to guilt-trip you, their subtle, passive-aggressive remarks, and their sudden withdrawals of affection, and you realize that these tactics only function if you grant them jurisdiction over your self-worth. And you have permanently revoked that jurisdiction. When you reach this state of absolute sovereignty, you finally understand the foundational law of human dynamics. Mercy without leverage is just an invitation to be consumed. You no longer hand out forgiveness like free currency to people who have shown zero capacity for change. You reserve your warmth, your resources, and your access exclusively for those who have proven they can operate at your stringent level of respect. Everyone else is met with a smooth, impenetrable surface. You become like a mirror. When they project their chaos, their drama, and their insecurities onto you, you do not absorb a single drop of it. You simply reflect their own toxicity right back into their eyes by refusing to react. They desperately try to find the buttons they used to push, the vulnerabilities they used to exploit, but they find nothing. The control panel has been entirely ripped out of the wall. Think about the profound, physical relief of this existence. You no longer lie awake at night, staring at the ceiling, violently replaying arguments in your head, because you no longer participate in arguments that do not serve your bottom line. You no longer agonize over text messages left on read, because your internal peace is no longer dependent on the digital validation of a fundamentally unreliable person. You move through the world with a slow, lethal confidence that terrifies the weak and commands the respect of the strong. When conflict inevitably arises, you do not panic, you evaluate. When someone threatens to walk away from you, attempting to use abandonment as a weapon, you do not drop to your knees and beg them to stay. You calmly hold the door open for them and offer to pack their bags. Because the untouchable mind understands that true power is the ability to lose anything and still remain completely whole. You have built an internal empire that does not require external subsidies to stay funded. The world is filled with deafening noise. It is filled with manipulators constantly scanning the horizon for soft targets, and it is governed by systems perfectly designed to grind the unconditionally good, the over-explainers, and the chronic people-pleasers into dust. For years, you unknowingly played their game. You bled your energy into a void. You justified your sacrifices, you lowered your standards to accommodate their dysfunction, and you explained yourself until your voice gave out, hoping that one day they would finally see your value and treat you with dignity. But the game is over. You have mapped the psychology of control. You have withdrawn your energy from the ungrateful. You have weaponized your silence against the manipulative, and you have recognized that your compassion is a premium asset that must be protected by an iron gate. Tomorrow, when the sun comes up and the world inevitably attempts to test your borders, once again, you will not flinch. You will look reality in the eye, fully aware of the dark, unforgiving laws of human nature. You will move with the chilling grace of someone who has finally stopped being prey. You will not bend. You will not explain. You will simply dictate the terms of your own existence.